All right, let's get started. Let me share the screen that we need to share. I think it just, am I sharing the screen?
Yes, I
Okay,
see your 2381 shell.
2381. All right. So this is a Colorado online course that was designed last semester. So I'm going to take you through and just show you how to use what the Yuja videos should be looking like, how to use them, and how students will be able to submit these if they are going to be creating Yuja videos themselves. In Colorado online courses, what I'm seeing in some of them is the welcome is having students create their own Yuja videos to introduce themselves. In other courses, I've used like the Flipgrid type, not Flipgrid, there's another one. Yeah, Flipgrid, I think, is online where they can make videos and do the same sort of thing. What Yuja allows us to do is create videos that are 100% secure. So they can't be downloaded by us. They are, or technically they're not supposed to be. Students don't have to worry about any of this information. Parents don't have to worry about any of this information being released, which allows students to feel and parents hopefully to feel a little bit more confident sharing their child for the purposes of our students learning. So let me go ahead and show you some of the basic things that and how to get started. So to access Yuja, we want to go into more tools. And under more tools, you'll see all these other things, but Yuja is at the very bottom. I'm going to click on Yuja. And this brings me to the website now, or this brings it to what's embedded into D2L. You have a choice. You can download this app onto your desktop, but what I found is that it's harder to share my screen. There's a different setup with the cameras, and it might just be because I work with multiple screens. But if you use the app, it doesn't necessarily it doesn't easily record the screens. It's a little bit more difficult for me to use. So if you want to go ahead, it will, I think, offer the opportunity to download the app, but I just go directly and do it into D2L so that it just, for me, it just streamlines better. So I'm going to go ahead and use that for the tutorial. When you're creating a video, you can, and you can tell this to students, if they create a video on their phone or on their computer, this is where they can upload it. So they have the same resource. I'll put it into student mode later, but since we're all instructors using this, we'll do it in instructor mode. You can upload videos. They can upload videos. It will pop up on here just like this. That's so much, it goes much quicker than them trying to upload a YouTube video or upload a WAV file. So from here forward, I strongly encourage you to strongly encourage them to upload files in Yuja. Then it will pop up in the same way that we have our videos that we actually record through Yuja. Create folders. You may want to do a tutorial like this for your students in advance. You can use Zoom just like I'm doing here, and you can do it on your own to create a video. You don't have to have someone in the meeting for you. You can create a video for your students on how to do this. It's best to organize the files so that they don't see exactly what you're pulling up here. So to create a recording, I'm going to go here, and you can record on your PC, which is which will go by default to the app that you downloaded, or you can record on the browser, Capture Studio. And I use this because it allows a little bit more flexibility in my recording. So when I record capture video, I'll put in Yuja tutorial start. Now it opens up just like Screencast. If you've ever used Screencast before, I can do the camera, screen, both. I'm going to do both right now, simply because when we're teaching these online courses, we don't have to have our pictures in there, but because we don't have direct contact with the student, I suggest at least the introduction videos to include our video. So I'm going to put this on here like this. Now you can see that we're sharing, Stephanie, it's you and me. It's sharing the screen. What you can do is you can share any other screen also. As you could see, all the options, just like when we're using Zoom, you can choose which screen you want to share. This is the Yuja app that's actually used. So let me go ahead, and if I want to start recording, I do this. I'm going to go ahead. I don't know if this is actually going to work because I'm running Zoom at the same time. I'm not going to do that. You'd start recording. When you're done recording, keep your videos usually between 15 to 20 minutes. There are methods, which I will have to do this tool in the future, but how we can embed links into our videos so that students will click on those videos or that link while they're watching the video. They can't go any further into the video until they've clicked on that link, completed a quiz that you've created in D2L, embedded into D2L. Or it can be anything else. If you want them to go to a Google Jamboard where all the students are going to contribute ideas for Jamboard and post them up there, you can do that also, but the students will have to be able to click on that link before they are able to progress in the video. Let me show you then. So do you have any questions about how to create that video, Stephanie?
No, this all looks great. So where I got stuck is that in my 2051 shell, when I go to more tools, Yuja is not listed. So while you were showing this to me, I went into my 1011 class. I do have Yuja there. So since I'm going to use the browser version, does it matter that I got to the Yuja tool through my other class that I
No, it actually doesn't. So you've got the benefit teaching the courses through CNCC. You don't have to worry about this. All of our adjuncts should have courses through CNCC. If that is an issue, you've never taught through CNCC and you have the concern. So I'm going to go over to your 2051, if you don't mind. That's this one right here. And let me just take a look, because this is what will happen with students or with our instructors who do not have Yuja. You're right, it's not on here. So we have to go ahead and I'll submit a note, hopefully, or a request. Hopefully by the time anybody goes in to teach these Colorado Onlines, we do have Yuja in there. If you've already taught CNCC courses, it should be the exact same. The Yuja account that you would access for the 2051 or any courses that you're using for Colorado Online will also be courses. Those same videos can be used anywhere else. So let me put this in student mode just to confirm that. Let's see. We're going to go ahead. Whoops, student mode is up here. View as student. Do you mind if I go into one of the assignments? Is that okay? I know you're
No.
You're
Yeah,
creating the course as we go along, but let's go into content. Okay, so this is what students are seeing right now. Is there an assignment to start out with? Yes, these are, oh no, that's a folder. So these are folders.
those are assignments.
These are assignments. Okay, so I'm gonna click on this assignment. Oh, these are, okay. So module 1 discussion. Oh, yeah, so these are all discussions.
And then below discussions was, there are assignments under discussions. And there it says you can create and upload videos using Yuja.
Right, so let's see what that says exactly, where that brings us to. So here's a tutorial, but they don't have the link for it. So that could be a problem. I will look into that.
That's where I got stuck last night.
Right, so I will look into that. Just for, it's kind of tricky for students to, so I'm going to get out of here so we can get into, well, actually, I could probably get into an assignment through here if you haven't hidden the assignments. Yes, so
Well,
they
do you
can.
mind double checking under more tools under student view if you just showed up for them?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so just FYI, if you want to hide these right now, since you're still developing the course, you might want to do that because they'll still see the assignments, still see all the discussions. It's not a big deal, but students in online courses are coming, Colorado online courses are coming from all different institutions across the state. And so there may be other practices that are used at those institutions. We want to try to be as consistent as possible, and that's why we're using the Ready to Teach courses rather than our CNCC courses, because this is going to be much more uniform for across the system. So let me just go in here, and this is your rules and regs scavenger hunt. A student has completed they read all the expectations, they've completed the assignment, they're ready to submit it. They're going to have to go to add a file. Once they're in add a file, what's kind of kooky about this is that they're going to have to actually upload a file, which is silly, but in order to get the Yuja video in there, so I'm just going to put this in. All right, so we've added, and what happens is now comments opens up, and we need to have these comments in order to submit the Yuja video. Once we have the comments, we can click on the insert stuff link, and hopefully, and so there's Yuja right there. Students will have this in your class. I click on Yuja, it's designated for CNCC. They will have one at their institution because every institution is supposed to have access to Yuja. And in Yuja, I find the videos that I've recorded. Students will find the videos they've recorded. Let's just stick this one in there. Insert content. Video so much quicker than anything else. I insert it. It shows up in the comments, and then I submit. So when you see their submission, you'll see this document. I mean, we may, as instructors, want to provide some guidance on submit a document that, you know, explains something, because they're going to have to take this extra step. Or I haven't figured that out, but it's one of those things that just creates another little barrier and something confusing.
So
Stephanie,
they're allowed to leave comments blank and then submit, right?
Yep. Yes, they don't need to have comments in there, but if they want to put the Yuja video in, that's how they'll have to do it, is through those comments. They can't, let's see, I just want to see if you record a video. This looks like it's being recorded through Yuja, but what students are going to have to do if they're creating a video directly through Yuja, like we probably would through a screen share, screencast, they're probably not going to want to do it through here. They're going to want to do it the way that I had done it, where we actually do that Yuja video, and students can do that for especially field work, is they would just set their camera up like the way, you know, our camera is set up as instructors, and then record that classroom through Yuja. And I had students do that last semester with the practicum course, and also for the 2381 child study. So that seems to work out. To the best of my knowledge, you can't access this through your phone, Yuja through your phone. I could be wrong, that could be changing. If you can do that, that will make things, I mean, if you can figure out how to get into Yuja, things will be easier. It's going to be a lot easier for most students to record from their phone and then upload the file. Going back to Yuja, let me get out of, actually, I can just go into one of my courses, back to this one. If students are using their phones or using something else to upload, it's going to be much easier, back to the CNCC course, much easier for them just to upload it rather than actually recording it from Yuja the way that we would. And maybe we just feel more comfortable creating our own videos in YouTube or screencast or something. So this upload will probably be easier for them to access. Another thing to consider is in Colorado online courses, this is what CNCC's D2L, I know they're all called mycourses.cccs.edu. However, different institutions can look slightly different up here. They might not have the drop-down menus in this order. So if you're doing a tutorial, you have to be also aware that this might look a little different. They might also have more tools in this because institutions buy these. These are really just standard CCCS applications, programs that we have access to, but they may have other ones. All right, does that help?
Yes.
It does. Do you have any questions?
Where would you recommend uploading your weekly Yuja videos in the
All right.
shell?
All right, that's a great question. So here's what I did. Let's look at this 2381. This course was all built out. So when I did announcements in here, course home, it's the same thing where you just have to open it up. So I didn't do announcements all the time, but if you're going to make any kind of changes to the class, I encourage it to come in video format. Students tend to respond to that a little better. Also, with this, you can check statistics. I'll let you take a look at that. That's not necessary, but you can see what students are watching. You can't see what specific students, but you can see 8 of the 25 are actually watching the video. If this is an important video, that means that, we should probably do something more to get the students to watch this, and that would be embedding that quiz. So if that's something that you as an instructor, you, Stephanie, anybody else wants to learn how to do, I will be figuring that out on my own as I'm teaching these Colorado online courses. I'm happy to share that information. Perhaps we'll do another walkthrough tutorial like this. When we're doing videos in the module, so let's just do it here. I did it in the activity list. So in most of the Colorado online courses, it's designed in this sort of manner. They're all a little bit different, but there is a place where there are all the articles, YouTube videos, those sorts of things, whatever that file's called. For this course, it is activity list. This is where I posted the lessons, the videos. So I put it here. So it was guided lesson number 1. And then review, again, they look different for each course. These are the other videos. So to answer your question, I put it in that file. And I did that by, let's see, edit HTML. Oh, I'm in student view. They're not going to be able to edit. We can. Go back. And what I'm also finding with the Colorado online courses that I've been designing, which is the 1011 and the 1111, there's a lot of stuff in there. And I can show you really quickly what I've done with the 1111 to consolidate things, make things more succinct. Putting everything, if there's multiple documents that aren't part of a file, put them in a file, because it's easier for us to read. It's easier for the students to read. Anyway, so if we want to add this video, we can edit HTML down here. We can edit HTML up here. I just do it up here. I'm going to go in and let's say I made another video. I go up into that, add file, Yuja, find my file that I want to put in there, and then I will insert it. So let's just do this one again, insert content, insert, and there you go. Does that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Very helpful. Thank you. And then when you were in my course shell, I do have all the modules closed except for our first module. So do you recommend I do the same with assignments and only have this week's assignments
Yeah,
viewable?
have a release date. I think that's the case. The 15-week are spread out a little bit more. They're paced a little bit better. The 10-week are really fast. Because D2L is so busy, to make things as focused as possible, just releasing what is there for the week is probably going to be the best. When we're teaching virtual classes, because students, are all over the place, we get to know them, we can have conversations. Sometimes it doesn't really roll that way. We're also going to grow and learn, and you as an instructor are going to develop your own strategies, what works. That idea of Tuesday discussions due dates is a fantastic idea. That could work for you, might not work for other people for grading purposes, as we talked about in another conversation. So figure out what works for you. Perhaps you're going to have 25 to 35 students in these courses. Don't make adaptations because one or two or even three students said, I can't do this. Like, that's something where you can have a conversation with them. If you're getting feedback from 10 students or maybe even 5 students saying this is really confusing, really strongly consider doing something different. But there's also some students might need accommodations and they don't have accommodations. Some students, this might be their first online course. They struggle with it. We're there as instructors to build morale, but also this is the responsibility of their own institution to prepare them. They're not part of CNCC. We're there to support them as instructors. However, the skills such as how to do a lot of these technical things are incumbent upon a institution to provide guidance. And some do really well, some do not. So quick answer is, if you feel, especially since you're still developing the course, to mitigate some confusion, hide those or set release dates that won't appear until actually students can start working on them. Get feedback first time around. There's always a big learning curve, and just go with the punches. At least you've got a course in the shell. Right? You're
Yes.
you're more prepared apparently than other courses. All right, I'm going to stop recording here. I think we got all the main things out of the way.